Welcome, people, and thank you for tuning in to ECCSC Live. I'm your host, Tyrone Muhammad, and to my right I have an our outreach director or manager, T. Smith. Say hi to the folks.
How you guys doing? As you said before, I am the outreach manager of the ECCSC. My name is T. Smith, so I'm glad to be here today. So appreciate it again, brother.
All right, brother. This is our third show, brother, and we've been getting a lot of positive reviews, and people have been talking about the work we've been doing lately in the communities. And I want to talk to you specifically about, because this is your first time here, and about specifically what it is that you do and what you see your role moving forward with ECCSC, as well as the picnic that you're about to put together and organize.
That's a good thing. First and foremost, my role essentially is to make sure that the agenda that we set forth, that it moves forward in the correct manner. Everything that you're trying to do, that is, the information is disseminated the right way,
Yes,
that we get the necessity that we need in order to function and move forward. I continue to do that to the best of my ability, as well as just come up with different innovative ideas to involve more of our community, because I think that's where we lack at. More community involvement. You spoke on the picnic. We're having a First Chicago's Fathers and Family Picnic. The date will be announced on the website in the coming days, but we want all the young men, all the men in Chicago, young, old, come out with your families, have fun, listen to great music, learn some things, just have fun and just to rebuild and reconnect with the family, because I think the biggest thing that we know is the absentee of the father, just the father being missing from the household.
Yes, sir. Well, in the upcoming days, we will have the event on the website. And as you can see, XCOMS for Community and Social Change, www.eccsc.info, or you can email us at eccsc18@gmail.com, and on Facebook at XCOMS for Community and Social Change, or you can give us a call. We are thankful for an opportunity again to be able to not only serve our community, but be able to have a platform to speak about the issues that's pressing to us in the communities. With the police shooting recently on 71st Street, and if you all haven't seen my Facebook, Tyrone Muhammad Facebook,
Yes.
of me encountering the law enforcement to curb rather a potential shooting or violence that could have happened as a result of one of the young brothers, I won't say his name, having some issues with his family member that led to the police being called on him. I was just so fortunate fortunate and blessed to be able to walk up on that situation and curb the violence. That's what it's about. Violence prevention, that's the ECCSC model. We into the people saving business. That's what we do. That's what we put our money in the basket on, is violence prevention. And that job in Chicago is
paramount. It's one of the most, I think that's the biggest job I think we've ever undertaken as men right now. I think trying to reestablish, reaffirm our position in the family household, because I think systematically in other different ways we've been scooted aside. Because if you look at every system that was set up, in order to get something you had to give up something, and it was mainly us. that was being given up. Or, okay, if you want us to help you get this, well, you can't have a man to do this.
Yes, sir.
If you want to get this, you can't have a man for that. You can't have a male role model around in order to do this. And then you look at the secondary part of it. The secondary part, it also places a blame in sort of a way, because it says, I'm not going to help you unless you get rid of this person. And it puts most women in this weird space, because they have to make a true life decision of really trying to
You're
support.
talking about housing, fathers
Yes.
being present in households,
Absolutely.
single women.
Absolutely, absolutely. Because housing is the biggest thing for a family structure. Where we live together,
You have
that's
no
our
way to exercise
Yes.
family.
Exactly. That's where we cohabitate as a family. That's what makes a family most of the time. It's the home. Whether it's an apartment, whether you have a home, whether it's small or big, you come home to those familiar smells, those familiar noises. That tells you that that's family. And so when you put restrictions on that, and it limits the female to what she can and can't do, because if she does this, then she's gonna lose this.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
And then when you look at the job discrepancy, okay, most women will look at it from this point. He's a great guy, but does his finances meet up to what's necessity for us to live? Most of the time it's no. So now they have to make the decision, do I want to continue with this relationship and give up where I know my kids have a roof over their head, running water, place to sleep where they're warm, and then step into the unknown? Mm-hmm. That's a big leap of faith.
I want to get back on that point, but I also want to go back to the violence prevention. And I'm amazed that every time there's a shooting, there's national media attention. My question is, why isn't there, or why isn't it ever attention brought upon situations and incidents where lives are being saved?
Because it doesn't benefit the TV. I kind of wanted to. I don't want to say stay away from the question, but it was a touchy subject for me, because when I seen the video of the shooting, the one thing that I thought was, well, right or wrong, look at it from this vantage point here. As a grown human being, if somebody walk up and grab your pocket, what would you do?
Natural reflex.
Your natural instinct, if you're not aware that they're there and somebody grabs your pocket, your natural instinct is to pull away. I say now, you have to also take the video even further. At that present moment, once he realized that it was the police, what was his response? He was ready to go. It was flight in his mind. Mm-hmm. Now, from that point, I'm not the judge, I'm not the jury, but my question still remains. How can you apprehend another individual who brutally murdered 17 people without firing one gunshot? Not one. We all know the incident. Without firing one gunshot, right after he just did this young man, whatever his crime was, from the looks of it, he was just standing still. Now, does that mean he deserved to be shot just because of whether he was in possession of illegal firearms or not?
Well, you know that you can look at that many ways, but you know our issues. It's like when you look at this thing and policing, I'm a firm believer that until we, as black men, stand up, protect our communities, stop allowing our women and children to be terrorized, then there will be no need for that type of policing in our community.
Absolutely.
I'm listen, man. You know how I am about this. I'm
Absolutely.
very passionate about us. That's the purpose of ECCSC.
Absolutely.
Because we are men who have figured it out,
yeah,
and have the remorse that and the wisdom to know that in order for our communities to change, it would take us who have destroyed our communities to come home and repair our communities. That means in every aspect, and that brings back the housing. Even if I'm housed in the prison, there should be no excuse for me not to be a good father.
Absolutely.
And that's where transportation come in, and the prisons being so far away from the location where an individual was arrested.
Yeah.
So downstate, it's difficult to get that child connected to the parent because of the cost.
But you and I know that's systematically done.
Yes, sir.
You and I both know when you first step into the prison, you knew as soon as man, the likelihood of you staying close to home was slim to none. You was looking Menard. Well, that was the only place I was able to go, Menard. But if you had lesser offenses, then like you said, you're looking at Shawnee, Centralia, hours and hours where the ride is just
4 to 6 hours. Patuca, Kentucky.
Exactly. That's where you're near, and you're like, that's a vacation.
Yes, sir.
Your family literally had to set up a whole vacation and set aside and pack lunches and because this was a vacation.
Yes.
So, like you said, it's no excuse for what happened to happen. So the next, I guess, the most pivotal point in question is this here: what are we willing to do about it?
Yes, sir.
Because that's where the solution lies. What are we willing to do about it?
Well, should we challenge the policing? Shouldn't police at least
Be held accountable?
Oh, well, we know how that works because they have a union and they have people that fight for them, just like our community should have individuals to fight for them.
Absolutely.
And that's what I say. I mean, we come in that because if you don't live in the community, I don't even believe you should be allowed to police the community. But we have a caller. Caller, how you doing? Thanks for tuning in.
Yes, and good evening. You know, I was doing some of my work, and I was just listening to what y'all guys were
What's your
saying.
name, caller?
My name is Steve. Listen, you know, that been the talk is all in all papers about the incident down there on 71st Street.
Yes, sir.
And for one thing, I think, and I don't advocate nobody shooting nobody. We need to get off of that, number one. But again, it's a shame that the way that people look at us, saggy pants. The gentleman said that he thought he saw a gun. You could see when they show us what they want us to see,
yes,
number
sir.
one. It did look like the pants was low. If the pants was low, you could probably saw it. Again, the shirt was raised up. Now, it appeared like he was running away, but looked like he did. I don't know, maybe his pants was falling or I'm not too sure whether he was pulling a gun. I mean, I don't know. In my mind, I wouldn't have did nothing like that, but that's just to me. But the point being is this. I want to ask y'all two guys, put yourself in the position where if y'all was the police officers and what we saw, what would you have done? Now again, I'm quite sure when both of them put their pants on that day, they thought they was going back home. And that's the most important thing to me is to get back home.
Thank you, Steve.
All right, then. Let me get out there so I can hear your response. And thanks for taking the call.
Appreciate it, sir.
Thank you for calling.
This is my take on that. Why is it that every time an incident occurred with a police and a black male, that it always ends tragically? Teese mentioned earlier about a shooting that took place where, how many people he killed?
17.
17 people, and he come out of that fray without a scratch.
There was not a gunshot.
And here's
fight.
the man hasn't killed anyone, and he ended up dead because you allegedly or saw a gun. There's never a time that you shoot a person in the leg. There's never a time you maybe shoot a person one time in the stomach and he give him a chance to live. There's never ever a time that it, to me, is too often that situation end up fatal.
The caller asks, can I put myself in that situation? Absolutely, I can. The difference between the normal human being and what you're asking from the police is every day they're trained to do a certain job. They go through an academy in order to teach them how to do this certain job. So when you understand your training, when you focus on your training, when you pay attention to your training and the details, then you understand assessing of situations. One, you have non-lethal combative material that you can use that's just as effective. He was trying to run away. You could have tased him. There's multiple things that you could have done to supersede the shooting. So,
thank you, Steve. Next caller.
Yes, sir. This is Ray. I call every week.
All right, Ray. Thank you, Ray.
Ray.
Yes, great show. That's why I call every week. But the thing is, listen, you're blaming the wrong people. It's not the police. You know who it is? It's the people you elect. For the last 20 years, the fifth floor alderman has become the minority has become the majority. And guess what? Nothing's changed. Unless you get them people out of there, like I was talking last week, about changing them, getting people into that care about the community, not just talk, but you know what? They don't do anything but lay back. From the mayor down, that's who you get out of office. That's who you don't vote for. Vote for the people, especially the ex-cons. You know what I say? Let them run for office. They know what's going on. They make much better aldermen and people, with influence than the people that are in there now. Quit voting for the people. Vote for the right people, and that'll change something for the better.
Thank you, Ray.
Thank you,
Ray.
Ray.
Going now, nothing's going to change.
Well, real quick, because we have another call, I want to listen to that question. You know, Ray, that politics is local. Here it is, Ray, I can run for the President of the United States of America, but can't run for local alderman because I have a felony.
Makes no sense.
And that is oxymoronic at best. So I'm telling you, that system is set up so that guys like us, who have influence in the community, who understand the community, who have boots on the ground, Ray, won't be able to exact change and affect policy. So thank you, Ray. Next caller, please.
Hey, how you doing there?
How you doing, sir?
All right, brothers. Hey, check this out. Look at first of all, my name Rob.
Right.
Look at the community. Look at the other areas, not communities, other towns. Let's look at Justice, Burbank, Evergreen Park, just all the other towns that's around Chicago. Do you see liquor stores on every freaking corner?
No, sir.
No, sir.
No,
I mean, think about that. I mean, everything connects. Alcohol, drugs, crime, unemployment, poverty. Okay, let's start someplace. Why are you going to allow a liquor store in every corner contributing to the demise of this community here?
That's right.
Now, yeah, we don't have to buy it, of course, but it's right there in our face, and we don't have jobs. With little money we get, trying to cope and deal with what we personally are dealing with. Okay, let me go get this drink. Let me go get this 40. Let me go get this fifth or whatever it is. Just stop all that. And then let's deal with the community. Let's bring more positive businesses in.
Well, Robert, thank you. It's the legislators who allow these individuals to get liquor license. That meant Ray said earlier, the elected officials. So why is there a liquor store in every corner? Because the people we elect or select to so-called serve us take money on the table, right? So in other words, and another thing, Robert, is this: how is it that we have a liquor store on every corner, and a drug dealer on every corner, and a church on every corner,
And they shutting down schools.
and shutting down schools? But the church is not winning. The religious community is not winning this war because we don't have boots on the ground, man. We don't have boots on the ground, and we have to shut down those stores and control the economics in our community. So next caller, please.
Hello?
Hello? Yes, sir.
Yeah, I saw that video on 71st Street.
Yes, sir.
That guy had a gun on him. He was reaching for it. He had his hand on the gun. What was he running for?
Well, that question, I know I'm going to say it briefly. Every time, when I was growing up, every time I saw the police, I ran because I didn't trust them. And I don't know if he had a concealed carry or a permit, whatever it was that he had.
He had a firearm card. He didn't have a concealed carry.
Because,
So
and that's like,
for having it on him.
it's unfortunate that it's innate in us almost to run from the police. And we have to change that narrative because we shouldn't fear the people who's supposed to serve us. Why should we fear them? In other words, they should fear the people. They are there to do a job.
Doing something crooked. Now you're going to run, and when you go for this weapon, these officers are trying to go home at the end of the night and feed their families. I'm going to be judged by 12 and carried by 6.
Yeah.
If you go for that weapon that I've seen you have on your side, I'm going to have to defend myself.
That's true.
That may be true, but on the other foot,
It's not may be true. It is true.
that may be true, but on the other foot, why is it that only happens to people of color? As I said before,
People of color
go ahead.
should have better sense,
So
and not commit these crimes.
So
He committed a crime.
so he committed a crime by standing
He had a
still.
gun on the ground illegally.
So he
He had the gun on him. He should not have had that gun on him. For some reason, somebody saw him with the gun. They approached him. Now, I see the actual gun on you.
Sir,
He has a right to bear arms?
Right.
Or no? Is the gun illegal?
In his home.
no,
Is a gun illegal?
Sir,
Yes.
Illinois has a carry and conceal.
He doesn't have that.
You don't know
nobody
that.
knew that.
You
Nobody
don't know
knew that in the
until
beginning.
after he's dead, right?
You're arguing a point of after the fact. After the fact of, one, you yanked on my pocket. After the fact that I'm already fearful of the police. So yes, my innate instinct is to fly.
So thank you. I appreciate your comment, your opinion. Everyone has it, and it is valued.
Absolutely.
So I would like to thank you all, family, friends, community, for supporting us in our efforts. We continue to succeed because we have you all's help. We would like more. And in the meantime, for those who would like to continue to support us, visit our website at www.ECCSC.info. And thank you for tuning in, and we hope to see you again next week. Take care, family.
Be safe.